So today we're roasting whole garlics on the wood stove. This is a little trick that I have decided to implement because my oven broke today. So we're doing it on the wood stove. It actually worked really, really well. All I did was put a cast iron pan on the wood stove and cover it with tin foil, and it created its own little oven. If you've never had roasted garlic before, it's probably the best way to eat garlic, in my opinion. And all you do is just take the entire clove, you take a sharp knife and cut the top off, drizzle just a little bit of olive oil over the top, and wrap it in tin foil and roast it whole in the oven. If you don't have an oven, you can do it on your stovetop or like I did on the wood stove. So we're doing a little roasted garlic taste test today, and we're going to show you 4 different varieties, and we're going to just do a little comparison, see how we like the different flavors, because as garlic connoisseurs know and appreciate, there is a serious range in the flavor of garlic. So we're going to start with a really incredible variety called Music, and you can come in and check this out. Okay. So, oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. It's like all caramelized. And this is what happens when you roast it whole. So Music is a hard neck variety. It's a little hot, but not that bad. Music is known as one of the easiest to grow, especially in the north, but it's well adapted to just about everywhere in North America. It can handle really harsh winters. It's super easy to peel, and it has big cloves. And I had actually selected the smallest cloves from my collection for cooking because I want to save the biggest ones for planting. And you can see that it's all perfectly caramelized and just delicious, and you'll be able to get the purest flavor profile when you just roast it like this. There's no spices, there's no alteration of any kind. So we're just gonna give this a taste. So again, this is a hardneck variety. Hardneck varieties are generally classified as having a more complex flavor, and Music is known as having a really exceptional flavor. So it's super easy to grow, but it also has a really nice flavor. Just as I suspected. Super mellow, nutty, but it has just a tiny spice to it. That's a great variety. That's Music. It's a hardneck variety, super easy to grow in the north. Okay, so the last 2 varieties I showed you were hardneck varieties, and this is something a little bit different. This is called Kay's Backyard, and this is a softneck variety. Just to give you the background on that, the hardneck versus a softneck garlic. A hardneck garlic will send up a scape in the spring. That's basically the equivalent to bolting. It's flowering. And a softneck variety will not send up that bolting scape. Garlic scapes are edible, so that's one big benefit to hardneck garlics, is that you can harvest and eat the garlic scapes. I like to pickle them, but also you can process them and cook them like green beans. They're really, really good. They have a more mild garlic flavor. So with a hardneck variety, you get garlic scapes. With a softneck variety, you don't get scapes. And because the softneck variety isn't putting effort into blooming and putting out a scape, it produces bigger bulbs with an average higher number of cloves in each bulb. So, we like softneck varieties because when you see those beautiful garlic braids in the old Italian films, or maybe you've seen them in specialty grocery stores, it's only the softneck variety of garlic that you can braid into those beautiful garlic braids. Hardneck varieties can't be braided. So that's one big bonus to growing the softneck variety, is that you can braid it. Another bonus, like I said, is that because it's not bolting on you and sending up a scape, you don't get a scape, but you get bigger bulbs. And they're more tightly wrapped in their skin, the softneck variety, which makes them have a longer shelf life. So softneck varieties, they're very tight. These cloves are very tightly wrapped in skin, so they're not as easy to peel but they have a longer shelf life. Hardneck varieties, they're always known as being easier to peel, but they don't last as long. So it makes sense. If it has a tighter peel, it's gonna last longer. If it's easier to peel, it doesn't have as long a shelf life. So just to reiterate, you always eat your hardnecks first, and then save your softnecks for later because they have a longer shelf life. Softnecks are great for processing, but they're also awesome fresh eating garlic. And I love these massive cloves on this variety, Kay's Backyard. They're absolutely huge, and they have a really great flavor. Yeah, that one was really good. Also, I have to say, I need another one because that was incredible. The texture on that is super exceptional, and I think that's because of the size. It just cooked up perfectly. Maybe it was just this specific scenario, or that could be every time with softnecks, but with the bigger size, I think makes a better roasted garlic. And if you want to just get a nice up close, that is like the most beautiful garlic specimen you've ever seen. And if you can believe it, this was the small clove that I harvested, because as I said before, I saved the largest cloves for planting, so this was the small one. This variety, Kay's Backyard, will be huge, so that's something to consider when you're growing these. Another general statement between hardneck and softneck varieties, it's not tried and true, but a general rule of thumb is that generally softneck varieties perform better in southern climates. Okay, so this is another different kind. This is called Cinnamahone. I think I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure. This is from rural Pennsylvania. This is a hardneck variety, and this is called a Rocambole type. Maybe you've heard that before, Rocambole. What it refers to is a garlic it's a hardneck variety with a particularly pungent flavor. Rocamboles usually have purple striping, and what I think is really cool about the Rocambole varieties is that their scapes, what I was describing before, the bloom that happens in the spring, summertime, they have loop-de-loop scapes. It's the only kind of scape, it's the only kind of garlic that makes a loop-de-loop scape. So you know you have a Rocambole if when your scapes show up in the growing season and they go whoop whoop, double loop, that's a Rocambole. But they're mostly characterized flavor-wise by being kind of spicy and complex, and they're revered for being super culinarily delightful, I guess you'd say. And as you can tell, this is roasted perfectly, and it looks amazing. Definitely more depth with that variety. So, yeah, I would say this one has a ton of depth. So don't forget, this is a Rocambole, so you get double whammy. You get the double loopity-loop delicious garlic scapes, and then when you go to roast them in the off-season, they're these delicious, nutty, complex, a little spicy, and when they're not roasted, they have a really beautiful purpley white color to them. So there's a lot going for it with this variety, and I'll repeat it, it's called Cinnamahone, if I'm pronouncing that right, and it's from Pennsylvania. And I'm going to have one more because it's just so delicious. That's awesome. Okay, well, I hope you guys all learned a whole bunch about garlic today, and we'll see you out in the garden when we do some planting.